Welcome to Life Wisdom, a space to pause, reflect, and find calm in the noise of everyday life. Today, we'll take a moment to reflect on sometimes losing is also a kind of gaining. In life, we all lose something. A friend who used to understand us without words. A love we once believed would last forever. A dream that used to keep us awake at night. Or simply an older version of ourselves that we have outgrown. We fear loss because, in the language of the human heart, losing often feels like emptiness, like a part of us has been taken away. But if we pause, breathe, and look a little deeper, we may realize that loss is not always what it seems. Sometimes losing is not the end. Sometimes losing is also a kind of gaining, a quiet, unrecognized gain that only reveals itself when we are ready to see. From a young age, we are taught how to keep things, not how to let them go. We are told to hold tight to what we have, our toys, our friends, our love, our pride. We are taught to fight for what's ours, to protect it, to not lose it. But no one teaches us that life itself is impermanent, that everything we hold dear will one day change, shift, or fade away. No one teaches us that loss is not an exception to life, it is life. So when something leaves us, we resist. We cry, we blame, we cling. We believe life has betrayed us. But maybe life has only done what it always does, move forward. Loss is not a punishment. It's a gentle reminder from life that nothing is truly ours to keep forever. It's a way of teaching us that everything we encounter, every person, every season, every dream, is borrowed time. It's all temporary. But temporary does not mean meaningless. It means that every moment matters, because it will never come again. We often call it loss when something is taken away. But sometimes what feels like loss is really space being made for something new. A person leaving might make room for solitude, for self-discovery, for inner growth. A closed door might push us to knock on one that's better suited for us. The end of something we loved may open the beginning of something truer. Life, in its quiet wisdom, has a way of clearing what no longer serves us, even when we're not ready to understand it yet. There are moments when we lose and break down, when we feel like our world is collapsing, when nothing makes sense. But if we look back later, we may see that it was through those cracks that light entered. Every heartbreak taught us to love with more awareness. Every disappointment reminded us to find worth within ourselves. Every goodbye shaped us into someone stronger, gentler, wiser. Loss hurts, but it also refines us. It strips away what is false so that what's real can remain. When we lose, we don't just lose things outside of us. We lose illusions, expectations, and identities we once clung to. We lose the need to be in control. And in that letting go, we discover something far greater: peace. The kind of peace that doesn't depend on what we have, but on how deeply we understand that we are already whole. There are people who, after losing much, no longer fear loss, not because they have become cold, but because they have awakened. They have learned that loss is not the opposite of gain. It's part of the same circle. Everything that leaves teaches us something that stays. What we lose outside, we often gain inside. When we lose a person who doesn't love us anymore, we gain the chance to love ourselves. When we lose a job that no longer fits, we gain the courage to find what truly aligns with who we are. When we lose our plans, we gain freedom from the illusion of control. When we lose what we thought we couldn't live without, we gain the understanding that life goes on, and so do we. Sometimes, what we call losing is simply life editing itself, removing what weighs us down, what no longer resonates with the person we are becoming. It's not life being cruel, it's life being honest. The truth is, loss is everywhere. It's in every sunset, every passing day, every year that slips quietly away. We lose time, people, feelings, places, and yet somehow we continue. We keep breathing, laughing, loving. That's the miracle of being human, that we can lose so much and still go on with open hearts. Loss gives shape to gratitude. Only by losing do we understand the value of having. Only by walking through emptiness do we appreciate fullness. If we never lost, we would take everything for granted. The people, the chances, the simple moments that fill our lives with meaning. Losing teaches us humility. It reminds us that nothing is owed to us, that everything is a gift. And perhaps the most beautiful thing loss gives us is perspective. It teaches us to see beyond possession, beyond attachment. It invites us to trust life, to trust that even when things fall apart, something unseen is being rearranged for our good. When you stop fearing loss, you become free. You realize that nothing external can truly complete or destroy you. You stop grasping for permanence in a world that's always changing. You begin to understand that peace isn't found in holding on. It's found in letting go gracefully. There will always be things we wish we could have kept, a love that ended too soon, a moment we can't return to. But life is not a museum of what once was. It's a river, always moving. To live is to flow, to let go, to keep going. The river never mourns the water that has passed. It simply welcomes the next wave. Maybe the art of living is learning how to lose beautifully, to lose without bitterness, to lose and still love, to lose and still believe. Because in every loss, there is also an invisible gift, the chance to start again, to see differently, to become more real. When you lose someone, you might gain solitude, the kind that allows you to listen to your heart. When you lose direction, you might gain stillness, the kind that allows clarity to arise. When you lose illusions, you might gain truth, the kind that grounds you in reality. Every loss, if you let it, has a seed of awakening inside it. One day, you'll look back and realize that the things you thought you couldn't live without were never meant to stay. They came to teach you something, then left when their lesson was done. You'll realize that what truly belongs to you, peace, strength, kindness, self-love, can never be taken away. Those are the things you gain from every loss. We tend to measure life by what we acquire, not by what we let go of. But letting go is also a form of abundance. It clears space in our hearts for new love, new understanding, new peace. The less we cling, the more we can receive. Maybe that's what it really means to live fully, to stop counting what we've lost and start noticing what we've gained from every ending, to see the beauty in impermanence, to find serenity not in holding tight, but in opening our hands. Loss and gain are not enemies, they are dance partners. One takes, the other gives. One closes, the other opens. Life moves in that rhythm, and when we learn to move with it, we stop fighting the inevitable. We begin to trust the process, to trust ourselves, to trust life. You see, life is not about keeping everything. It's about experiencing everything, fully, deeply, gratefully. We are not here to own, but to learn, to meet, to love, to release, to remember, to lose, and through losing, to understand what truly remains. And what remains, after everything else is gone, is love. The quiet, patient kind that survives every ending. The love that lives not in clinging, but in allowing. The love that whispers, even if it changes, even if it goes, it was real. And that is enough. So when you lose something or someone, don't rush to fill the emptiness. Sit with it. Let it soften you. Let it teach you. Because that space, that ache, is not just pain. It's transformation. It's the place where you stop being who you were and start becoming who you're meant to be. Maybe we never truly lose anything that was meant for us. Maybe what's gone has simply changed form. The love that ended might turn into gratitude. The dream that failed might turn into wisdom. The silence left behind might become peace. And maybe the purpose of losing is not to hurt us, but to remind us how vast the heart can be, that it can hold both sorrow and serenity, both endings and beginnings, both loss and love, all at once. So if you're standing in the middle of a loss right now, don't despair. One day, you'll look back and see that this too was a turning point, the moment when something within you quietly awakened, the moment when you stopped grasping for control and started trusting the flow of life. Because in the grand rhythm of existence, nothing truly disappears. Everything transforms. Everything gives way to something else. And that is why sometimes losing is also a kind of gaining. It's the gain of wisdom, of grace, of depth. The gain of a heart that no longer fears change. The gain of a soul that has learned to let go, and in doing so, has finally learned how to love. Thank you for listening. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share to spread positivity. See you in the next video on Life Wisdom.